Good Monday morning and welcome to Korea Today, brought to you live from Seoul.
After a week of the silent treatment from Pyongyang, Seoul says it is reaching the limit of patience, suggesting the South may be close to taking grave measures.
In another standstill, that's where the two main rival parties are regarding their parliamentary probe into the nation's spy agency. Details coming up in the headlines.
Foreign currencies appear to be having a growing presence in the North Korean economy. We'll tell you more on In Print.
Is your computer under attack? There's a way to check out the safety of your PC. Please stay tuned.
And how about starting the week off with some jazz? Pianist Ronn Branton has that for us, infused with Korean melody to jazz up your day. It's Monday, I'm sure you could use it. Then we look at men in shorts at work, something you would have never imagined just a few years ago. But now more men are showing off their newly found love for shorts on this Monday, August 5th, 2013.
From Arirang News, this is Korea Today.
Good morning and thank you for joining us on Korea Today.
Hope you had a great weekend. It's like seeing light at the end of a long tunnel. The longest ever monsoon season is now officially over, according to the Korean Meteorological Administration. But get this, we're expecting rain today and in the days to come. So you gotta have a bit of sense of humor to enjoy and make sense of the weather these days.
Well, you got me excited for 1 second, and now I'm back to aw. Well, it is the high humidity and the heat wave that we've been getting along with the monsoonal rains that may have enticed many people to go abroad this season and this vacation season. And the Incheon International Airport, it reported that it has had the highest influx of passengers ever yesterday. So that is a lot of people coming in and out of Korea this season. And another thing is that the heat wave is going to continue, as Min-jung said, so be on the lookout for that. And hey, the vacation season isn't exactly 100% over. You can still make the most out of the weekends.
Right. We'll start Korea Today on this first day of the week with the day's headlines.
And as you heard at the top of our show, running out of patience is how the South Korean government feels about the deadlock over the shuttered joint Kaesong Industrial Business Park. On Sunday, Seoul's Unification Ministry urged Pyongyang to accept its week-old offer for final talks on the complex and said if the North truly considers the business zone to be the cornerstone of inter-Korean relations, it should show its will through responsible words and actions.
North Korea should keep in mind that the South Korean people who want to see Pyongyang's more sincere actions are reaching their limit of patience.
South Korea offered to hold a seventh round of talks on reopening the suspended Kaesong Business Park after negotiations fell through last month, with the two sides unable to narrow their differences. The complex has been closed off since early April after North Korea decided to unilaterally halt operations when tensions were running higher on the Korean peninsula. The floor leaders of Korea's two main rival parties met on Sunday at the National Assembly in an attempt to normalize the bipartisan parliamentary probe on the nation's spy agency. But not much progress was made at the end of their meeting, except to go ahead with Monday's briefing session by officials from the National Intelligence Service as scheduled. Ruling and opposition leaders will meet again on Monday to iron out their differences on the list of witnesses they wish to summon for parliamentary hearings. The questioning sessions are currently scheduled to take place for 2 days starting Wednesday. Watchers say the two parties still have an array of issues to resolve to wrap up their probe before the deadline of August 15th. The 45-day bipartisan probe was launched early last month to investigate allegations that the spy agency tried to sway public opinion in favor of the ruling party in last year's presidential election. U.S. President Barack Obama and his trade officials have vetoed a U.S. International Trade Commission ruling that would have banned imports of some older models of Apple products. In a letter to the ITC, a U.S. trade representative said the Obama administration took into account the effect of the ruling on the U.S. economy and consumers. Samsung Electronics says it is disappointed by the decision and is reportedly seeking all legal measures to protect what it believes is the company's Chinese patent rights. In June, the ITC ordered a ban on older Apple products that worked with AT&T networks after they found Apple had infringed a patent owned by Samsung related to the transmission of data over cellular networks. The South Korean Navy has unveiled its 1,800-ton submarine named after the nation's independence activist An Jung-gun. The vessel can take aboard 40 crewmen and stay under the water for up to 2 weeks for operation.
Submariners are designed to deter North Korea's provocation in the deep sea and are currently playing a big role in securing our national interests.
South Korea only has about 10 submarines as of now. Military sources say Seoul plans to build 9 3,000-ton submarines by 2030, which will have better precision strike capabilities. But experts say Seoul needs to increase its numbers in order to engage in a fair fight with North Korea, which has about 70 known submersibles. South Korea's new underwater vessels will be equipped with vertical launchers that will have long-range submarine-to-surface precision strike capabilities.
And good morning, everyone. We do have a varied bunch of stories on Monday's newspapers, but we will pick right off of Hyungyang's last headline with a look at 중앙일보's front page. Now, the image title reads, 1,800-ton An Jung-gun submarine goes public, launching 3,000-ton next-generation submarine era. Now, the caption says the sub, named after freedom fighter An Jung-gun, has a top speed of 20 knots or 37 kilometers per hour, has the capacity to travel to Hawaii and back without refueling, and can remain submerged for up to 2 weeks. So quite impressive there. Meanwhile, the top story, or the big story this morning, does come to us from Washington, where the Barack Obama government essentially overturned the ruling that would have placed an import ban on older versions of the iPhone and the iPad. You heard the details of it in Hyungyang's headlines. Most of the newspaper headlines are critical in tone. 중앙일보's headline says that Obama is driving on the wrong side of the road, while if we scoot on over to Gyeongyang Shinmun for a quick look at its headline, it reads, iPhone import ban overturned, Obama's U.S.-centric selfishness. So we will leave that story there and take a look at the front page image, which takes us to the Incheon International Airport, which you heard a little bit about at the top of the show. The major travel hub did open back in 2001, and yesterday it saw a record number of travelers come and leave through. The title reads, number of Incheon International Airport users breaks record. That is with some 148,000 people coming and going yesterday. The caption says departure wait times were 3 times longer than usual at 50 to 60 minutes. So do keep that in mind if you are going there soon. Meanwhile, 동아일보, we will scoot on over there. Front page image also takes us to a vacation-y mood. Shows a scene from Busan's Haeundae Beach with the title, Monsoon Season Ends and Sweltering Heat Begins. Tammy Lee, of course, will have details of that. But Haeundae Beach saw the biggest crowd this summer on Sunday as well, with some 700,000 people flocking to cool off and play. My, what a scene. All right, and scooting on over to 조선일보 now. It takes us to the north, that is to the capital city of North Korea. And the headline reads, in Pyongyang, mobile phones and tutoring bills paid in dollars. Now, in its special report on the North's economy, 조선일보 says that a market economy is permeating under its new Prime Minister Park Bong-ju, named to the post back in April 1st. Now, the article notes that his so-called result-based distribution system measure is shaking the roots of a planned economy at the factories and farms, as well as the growing number of westernized malls. And you can see a scene of that there. Despite the government's vigilant posture, the newspaper says that North Korea has stepped into the market economy at this stage, with the amount of foreign currency circulating in the state making up 10% of its GDP last year, which is estimated to be be some $29.6 billion US. It cites University of North Korean Studies professor Yang Moon-soo as saying that the trends of dollarization and yuanization are accelerating. It says some experts are comparing this trend to the 1980s Soviet Union right before it collapsed, as it showed trends of a preference for foreign currencies over the local one in its unofficial markets.
So despite the animosity that Pyongyang has frequently shown against Washington, I'm assuming that the use of US dollars in North Korea is legal then.
That's right. That is what the newspaper says, at least. And in fact, there is a trend that the US dollars, it says, are frequently used in the capital city of Pyongyang, whereas the Chinese currency is frequently used in the border regions, which I guess makes sense there. Items like motorcycles and glass in Pyongyang are said to be only given prices in dollars, whereas everyday products like rice and clothing in the border regions are bought and sold entirely in the yuan.
Well, Eunice, I think it's safe to say that the nation's elite, or the largest concentration of the nation's elite, is centered around Pyongyang.
Right.
That allows them to afford mobile phones and private tutoring. Now, you mentioned that that's paid in dollars. Now, how does this work? Tell us a little bit more about this.
Well, according to the newspaper, it says that the North Korean government recently expanded the sale of cell phones, and it says that this was a way for the government to get its hands on the hidden foreign currencies of its people, while the private tutoring part, the newspaper says, comes from a North Korean defector who said that North Koreans in Pyongyang paid in dollars about $20 to $30 a month in private tutoring bills, although that can balloon to 10 times more if it's a teacher from a prestigious university.
Eunice, can you zoom in on the smaller picture there? If you take out the portraits of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il, you would think this is a leisurely afternoon in South Korea.
Right. It is a very different picture of, I guess, how we used to think of North Korea.
Somewhere
I guess,
in
right?
Yeolmogeo
Right.
Park.
We
Like
see
those
roller
kids in
skates,
cargo pants.
right?
Inline skates.
And if we can zoom, you can see this, they're actually wearing rain boots as well in the background, which are very hip here in South Korea as well.
Interesting.
So, certainly some interesting stories as well as pictures out of North Korea today on 조선일보. So with that, we'll wrap your look at what's in print on this Monday. Next up are your closing numbers from Friday's market action.
Still ahead on this Monday morning, jazz with a Korean twist is what jazz pianist Ronn Branton has been working on for the past decade. What inspires him and what does he want to share with his music lovers? We sat down with a cool cat to hear more.
There are a lot of festivals in Korea involving fish, and last week we looked at the Catfish Festival, and today we're going to check out a different type of fish festival, the Sweet Fish Festival.
Yep,
Sweet.
it's known as Eun-uh in Korea. I'm not sure if that has anything to do with the taste. I haven't tried it yet, but this festival has been getting larger every single year. This was held in Bonghwa in the North Gyeongsang province, So let's check this out and come back and talk more about this sweet fish. Bonghwa, North Gyeongsang province, is some 260 kilometers southeast from Seoul, a 4.5-hour drive away. Although it's twice the size of Seoul, the population density is the lowest in the country, leaving much of the surrounding nature extremely clean and pristine. The water here is rated #1 in quality by the country's Water Resources Center, and that may be one reason that it's a great place to enjoy a summer festival packed with fun.
은어 잡으러 갑니다.
오늘 어떻게 많이 잡으실 수 있겠어요?
예, 많이 잡아야지요.
준비되셨습니까?
People have crowded into this area with fishing nets in their hands.
미끄러. 안 잡혀. 짜릿합니다. 정신 없어요, 정신. 고기 잡아야 돼요, 고기. 많이 잡으셨어요? 2마리 잡았어요.
Everyone is eagerly looking for sweet fish, which are only spotted in top quality, clean fresh water. The Bonghwa Sweet Fish Festival is held during the peak of the summer heat, and for the past 3 years, the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism has named it one of the country's most promising events, bringing in many people from all around.
When we were little, we used to catch a lot of sweet fish here, and to share this great experience with everyone around the country, we decided to start this festival. This year, we're expecting to see more than 1 million visitors come by. We're thrilled to see this event grow into a fun and family-friendly festival for all to enjoy.
좋습니다. 맨손잡이 체험. 자, 봉화은어 잡으러 출발!
And if the nets aren't working for you, it's time to use your bare hands. Some of the braver participants try to catch sweet fish with their bare hands. It's a battle under the hot sun with people trying to catch the slippery sweet fish and the fish swimming away as quickly as they can.
We came here with friends and family, and it's so much fun. The sweet fish are all really strong, so it's hard for me to catch them, but I'm enjoying my time here. It's refreshing.
Now it's time to enjoy the sweet fish. Known as a royal dish served to the king, sweet fish are full of nutrition. And everyone is captivated by the mouth-watering taste of the dish.
The taste is definitely different eating these well-cooked sweet fish here. They're much fresher and tastier.
The first bite is great, but the aftertaste is sort of like a watermelon. It's really unique and almost mysterious.
The great thing about sweet fish is that there's no fishy taste to it. Instead, the meat smells crisp like cucumber or watermelon, and although mostly enjoyed raw, the fish can be cooked and served in various other ways.
Usually, even when my family is home, we don't spend a lot of time fully paying attention to each other. But now we are here away from the annoying smartphones and computers. I'm glad we're able to communicate more one-on-one.
And that's not all. There are all kinds of water sports activities for everyone to enjoy and blow away the steaming summer heat. From water cycling to sprinting in the shallow waters, various programs are offered for everyone looking to have some fun in the sun.
기분 좋습니다.
Having fun is important, but so is getting rest. And that's why there are diverse facilities like giant shaded resting areas, free camping grounds, and lactation rooms available.
Our Bonghwa Sweet Fish Festival has been selected as one of the promising events by the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism for the past 3 years. But we hope our festival will be voted as the best next year and ultimately mark its place as the leading festival in Korea.
And with all the accommodations, it attracts a lot of people. Over the years, it's attracted about 800,000 people per season. But this time around, 1 million was the number.
I'm not quite sure about how I feel about catching the fish from the pool, but I mean, nonetheless, I think the festival does offer a lot of activities.
I
right?
don't want to be that fish, just
No,
for sure.
no, I don't either.
Lots of scared
like I
fish,
said,
that's for
a
sure.
lot of fish festivals across the country. They should call it not a fish festival, but a fishtival. How about that?
Fishtival. Fishtival.
a
That
new
might
word?
be an opinion that might be taken in because they actually do take the opinions of the attendees and implement it into their future festivals. So maybe they'll call it a fishtival.
That's my idea. All right, we're going to go to Dami for a look at the weather conditions outside.
Okay, so we said it was going to be hot, right?
Right.
So how hot is it going to be, Tommy? Good morning.
Well, I would definitely like to go check out that fishtival. But good morning, everyone. Today I'm reporting live from Hwaseong, Gyeonggi Province. Finally, some good news from the Weather Center. Looks like we have officially seen the end of the longest monsoon season that we've seen in history. So it started back on June 17th, has finally ended in 49 days. Whew. But it's a bit early to get a little excited as the heat is going to start to get worse. As a matter of fact, this morning temperatures are at about 25 degrees Celsius. Most of the nation will look similar or hotter, not cooler at all. So that means that tropical nights are in full swing as well. Most heat wave advisories are scattered throughout the nation. However, Daegu, North and South Gyeongsang Province, also Ulsan, are under heat wave warning. So do please be careful and keep yourselves hydrated. Now, throughout the day, it looks like we are seeing chances of passing showers. Here in the central regions, we are expecting about 10 to 70 millimeters of rain, depending on where you are. Let's go ahead and take a look at the temperatures around Korea. Seoul and Daejeon will reach up to 31 degrees. Daegu and Gangneung will be scorching at 34. Busan and Jeju Island will reach up to 31 degrees. Now, for the weather tomorrow, we will be seeing similar conditions to today. Central regions will be receiving showers in the morning, so don't forget your umbrellas. All I can say is that the month of August is going to be, well, a very hot one, and in the latter half, we will be seeing lots of passing showers. That's all I have for the weather forecast. I'll be back in a few moments.
And thank you very much, Tommy, for that. Today we're going to, well, that's that. We hear music in the background, right?
Right. What you're listening to right now is a popular song among children. It's called Panda, or excuse me, Half Moon in English. And there's a game you play.
Okay.
Ready for this?
All right, let's go.
Something like that,
I knew you were
right?
going to go too far.
It's supposed to be between two girls, but,
No, but I'm sure Hyungyung would be much better at this than me. I mean,
you're just closer to me, that's why.
I mean, it's true. It's a game that a lot of people play, and this song is a well-known folk song. And the jazz artist Ronn Branton, he continues to work on Korean songs and also put a jazzy feel to it. Nice little touch there.
And he's been performing in Korea for the past 17 years, and this year marks the 10th anniversary of his concert, Summer Night Jazz, and we had a chance to sit down with him before that. Known to have lyrical and romantic music techniques, jazz pianist Ronn Branton first came to Korea from the U.S. 17 years ago after marrying his Korean wife. So you cannot help but wonder, why did the jazz pianist decide to leave his home country, also the home country of jazz, and settle down in Korea?
Well, I wanted to try something new. I could stay in DC and everything would be okay, but I wanted to try something new, to try a different experience, and my experiment has been very interesting so far. It's worked out better, I think. Basically, the strength I gain is being an outsider looking inside, so my perspective is different. So I try to bring a fresh perspective to things that may seem old.
For almost 20 years, Branton has been recreating unique and intimate Korean songs infused with jazz. With such work, he's able to express his thoughts about Korea in a different way.
When you do a crossover, it's maybe a new way of looking at something that we've seen many times, but by doing a little crossover, it becomes something fresh, something new. Maybe you get closer to what the music really is. Jazz is something that grew and developed over time and is still growing, and it's like a living plant. You can't shake the part of the tree from which came first from the seed. You can't go back in time, if you will. It's always changing and always growing. So it's a part of a process of perceiving, of seeing, of how we perceive.
Aside from Korean music, Branton is also interested in the country's culture and history. He and his wife, who's also his performance planner, came up with the musical Tiger, which tells a story of preserving Korea's spirit and identity.
Myself and other people wanted to develop musical shows that were Korean yet were more modern in themes. Something that's more than a historical legendary tale like Hongildong, for example, about the legendary thief. We wanted to work with stories that were contemporary. So in our story, we have a Korean scientist who's searching for the last tiger in Korea. And it's kind of like a story about identity. He's searching for the tiger, but he's searching for himself. It's a story about Korean identity, maybe.
Branton says Korea has so many beautiful songs, but not many are put on stage. That's why he decided to create his own performance to showcase these captivating tunes. Since 2000, Branton has hosted 2 concerts a year, once in the summer and the other during Christmas, to introduce his newly composed pieces and rearranged Korean songs.
When I started writing this music, I wanted to write a collection of music that was like a portrait of things Korean for me, like when you travel around the country. And I also was thinking about organizing this along the lines of the 4 sacred solids, the earth, wind, water, fire. So I started with water, since during the monsoon season, during planting season, water is everywhere in Korea. So I started with water.
Branton hopes to explicitly portray the ever-changing and ever-growing Korea through the concept of water. Each year he shows a different Korea through his music, and now his world of music would be hard to complete without the spirit of Korea.
Well, I have been planning on doing a collection of Korean art song in the future, where it's more like acoustic jazz with a singer, and doing something along these lines, because there's a lot of good music in that area that has not been explored as much as it could be explored, and I thought that would be a lot of fun. It would remind Koreans of some of the musical treasures that they have grown used to, maybe. And my goal as a writer is to create music, to create that moment, a special moment that really connects with the listener and gives them a sense of something beyond the stage, beyond themselves. And that's the part of making a musical show, I think.
for some people, jazz is a hard genre to understand, but he has said that, jazz is like a pair of glasses that helps you see things better and understand things better.
Okay, well, I don't see that clearly with jazz just yet, but Ronn Branton, he has been labeled as the poetic pianist by the Washington Post, and he also infused his Korean, and through that, he found out that Korean music has inspired him a lot more and understands Korean music a lot more. Now, he hopes the Korean listeners will be able to appreciate jazz and see it from a perspective that's a lot easier and simpler to comprehend.
Right, and that's exactly why he has been garnering a lot of attention, especially in Korea, and he interprets Korean songs in a new light, and that's why he's been gathering a lot of fans as well. And at this year's Summer Jazz Night concert, he is expected to perform various Korean old pop songs, including 조용필's 단발머리 소녀 or Bobtail Girl. So I'm very much looking forward to that one.
Yeah, that should be quite fun.
The jazzification of Korean music.
That's a new word that you came up with.
All right. Still ahead on Korea today, men in shorts. Okay, that's pretty common, but in the office, well, this wasn't really a scene that was common in the past, but with a change in style and perception, more Korean men are encouraged to look for ways to stay cool in the office and embrace a new look.
Good morning, I'm Chun Sung-cho, and it's time to check out our hot clicks for this week. I'm sure if you follow K-pop, you've heard of this new girl group called Crayon Pop, and their song titled Pa 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 is going viral on the internet and possibly becoming the hottest song this summer with their silly outfits and dance. And can you imagine police officers singing and dancing to this? Well, let's check it out right now. They don't exactly look like a K-pop idol group, but yes, they are real police officers. This spoof video was filmed to promote a new program called Model Driver Mileage starting in August. People who sign up for this new mileage program and have kept a clean driving history for 1 year will gain points that could in the future help them make up for possible driving violations. Now, these pretty policewomen you see on the video are rookies who have joined the service last year. Well, I didn't know that now if you want to become a police officer, you'd have to be good at singing and dancing as well. They're pretty good. I've recently shown you some other clips like this created by civil servants, so it looks like it's becoming a new trend in communicating with the public. Shopaholics out there, listen to this carefully. For the month of August, Seoul City will host a special shopping festival for tourists called the Seoul Hot Summer Sale 2013. A total of 1,339 various stores and businesses in the well-known shopping districts Myeongdong and Dongdaemun and other areas in Seoul will be participating in this. And the popular boy band 2PM is this year's summer sale PR ambassador, so officials are hoping they will attract many young female shoppers in their 20s and 30s. And if you want to benefit from this hot summer sale, you have to receive discount cards at the Incheon International Airport, Seoul Global Culture and Tourism Center, or Gangnam Tourist Information Center. But if you don't have the time to get to these places, no worries. You can simply go on the sale's official website to download these cards. Now, the next topic is on Korea's favorite #1 snack, the convenient and affordable instant noodles, or ramyeon. Let's see what's creating buzz online. Did you know there's someone called the God of Ramyeon, or the Ramyeon Hero among cyber users? This famous American online blogger's name is Hans Lineage, and he's posted reviews of some 1,100 international ramyeon he has tried so far. Well, so far, Lineage has rated Korean noodles positively for its unique characteristics and diversity in flavors, from the red beef flavor to the white chicken-based soups. And out of the top 10 best cup noodles in 2013, 4 of them were Korean brands, and many online users have expressed their interest in these noodles. So, do you agree with Lineage's reviews? Well, I don't know about you, but with all this noodle talk, I'm craving a really spicy cup of ramyeon right now. Seoul Central District Prosecutor's Office announced that a domestic IT company in collaboration with a North Korean hacker most likely spread malicious codes to some 100,000 PCs, making them zombie PCs here in South Korea. Malicious codes spread via a denial of service attack, also known as a DDoS attack, and spam mails have become a serious problem. Computers hit with such attacks are called zombie PCs. And with such alarming news, many computer users have been searching for effective ways to detect whether or not their computers have become zombie PCs or not. And in order to find out whether your computer is a zombie PC or not, all you have to do is visit the 보나라 website run by the Korean Internet and Security Agency. And if you've been notified that your PC has a malicious code, then the online site will provide a fitting virus vaccine to cure your PC. And finally, let's move on to our last story. Recently uploaded pictures of Korea's diverse night views on an online community website is attracting a lot of attention from online users. Cyber users have commented that they didn't realize such beautiful night sights existed where they lived. The nighttime pictures of port cities like Busan, Yeosu, Incheon, Jinhae, and Pongyang are absolutely breathtaking. And heavily concentrated areas like Mokpo, Iksan, and Cheongju also feature very hospitable and homey atmospheres. I think many are loving these captivating shots as they give them an excuse to just take a step back and fully appreciate the surrounding environment out of their busy life. Just looking at these pictures gives you a sense of peace in your mind. Don't you agree?
Definitely do.
I agree.
I agree too.
Oftentimes we just fail to appreciate what we have and we just don't realize how much of a beautiful night view we have until we see photos like these, right?
And it's not just Seoul, it's Busan and Mokpo. They have a sight to behold. Now, where can we go in Seoul? Obviously, I know, but for our viewers, where can they go to enjoy some of the night views in Seoul?
Well, if you want to fully enjoy Seoul's night view, there is a number of ways. You can either go on Han River Ferry and cruise through the Han River, or just simply go on top of Namsan Tower and you can just watch the entire city unfold before your eyes. And my personal favorite out of all the places is Palgakjang, which is an octagonal pavilion located at the top of Bugang Mountain. And there you can just have a panoramic view of the entire city, and it's just absolutely gorgeous.
There's also some nice restaurants at the top of sky rises, but who needs to go there and pay an expensive fee? You can just go to some of these areas for free. Now let's go and talk about some of the food now. I mean, we see that a lot of Korean cup ramyuns have become popular, but what I noticed is that when you're thinking about cup ramen or ramen in general, you're thinking about the hot, red, spicy broth, right? But we've been seeing a lot of clear broth. Is that becoming big these days?
Well, I guess, but I mean, either flavor, it's really delicious, so it's making me really hungry right now.
All right, you can go now and get you to enjoy your
Yeah,
cup
I
ramen.
know what I'm going to have for breakfast today. Well, that's all I have for you today for Hot Clicks. I'll see you next week.
그 허름한 편안함 널 만나러 가는 길은 설렘 자꾸 걸음이 빨라져 너와 둘이서 걸으면 말야 왠지 좋은 데로 가는 기분이야 어디라도 난 좋은 걸 바람이
And a good Monday morning to you all as we start things off in the Women's British Open. Of course, the nation hoping for a season Grand Slam from Park In-bi. She never really recovered after a poor showing in the back nine in the first round. Now, the 25-year-old has a decent showing in the first three rounds of play, but the last round just terrible. Park starts off with a double bogey on the first hole, followed by 6 bogeys in the next 17 holes, finishing off shooting a 6 over par, tied for 42nd. Meanwhile, Chen Ha-yeon and Park Hee-young looking great in the event, but just fall short, with both Koreans finishing off tied for 2nd place. After 72 holes in 4 days, American Stacey Lewis comes out on top, taking the Women's British Open title, shooting an 8 under par overall for the win. Now, another big event many Koreans were looking forward to this past weekend, the Korean zombie Chung Chang-sung going after the UFC Featherweight Championship against Jose Aldo. Now, the South Korean fighter had the skills and the technique in the fight, but no luck. The UFC Featherweight Champion breaks his foot during the fight, and the Korean zombie continued to press, but the South Korean dislocates his right shoulder in the 4th round of the fight, leading to a TKO victory for the Brazilian champ. Now, sources say that the injury will sideline the Korean zombie for at least 6 months as he hopes to recover and get another title shot in the future. Now, moving on to some Sunday night KBO action as we kick things off with the red-hot Doosan Bears taking on the SK Wyverns in Incheon. Of course, taking a look at the game here, we go to the first inning. SK draws first blood thanks to Chejung's RBI single to right as SK takes an early 1-0 lead. Next inning, Yang Iji of the Doosan Bears RBI double to left field ties the ball game 1-1. Now, next play, we shift over to the 5th inning. Im Jae-chul RBI single to right gives the Doosan Bears the 2-1 lead. Now, next play, we go over to the 6th inning. A ground ball to third base. Lee-won-suk bobble, and everyone's safe. Cho Dong-hwa scores and the ball game's tied at 2 apiece. Now, a close game throughout the night, but the 9th inning, Kim Hyun-soo to straightaway center field. 2-run shot as the Doosan Bears take a 4-2 lead. Now, Doosan would add another insurance run the same inning as the Doosan Bears take this game 5-2. And next up, the LG Twins taking on the Samsung Lions. 2nd inning, Kang Myung-gu RBI ground out to second base gives the Samsung Lions the 1-0 lead before Jim Ga-kyung RBI single to left field makes it 2-0 Samsung Lions. Now, we're going to stay in the same inning, but the bottom of the inning, LG Twins, Chung Sung-hoon RBI double to left field line cuts the deficit 2-1. Now, we're going to shift over to the 4th inning of the game. Chung Il-yoon, a solo shot to left field ties the ball game. Before this next play here, LG Twins shortstop Oh Ji-won ground ball 4-6-3 double play. This is still going to score another run as the LG Twins take a 3-2 lead. 6th inning tied 3-3. Yoon-yo-sup sparks a 4-run 6th inning with a 2-run single. Now, going over to the 8th inning of the game, Samsung continues to keep it close with Woo Dong-gyun's 2-run single, but the LG Twins not letting them have this game. This next play fakes a bunt. Yoon-yo-sup sends one deep to left, back, gone. A 2-run shot as the LG Twins take this series 9-6, your final score. And now, of course, the Nexon Heroes and the Kia Tigers. This game actually went to the Kia Tigers, taking this game 6-0 with Kim Jin-woo getting the win as well. And those were all the games in the KBO. Now, with that said, shifting over to the K-League Classic in football, the Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors took on Gangwon FC. So let's take a look at the highlights. Of course, going into the game itself, this one is going to be a high-scoring game. 19th minute of the match, Choi Jin-ho finds the back of the net as Gangwon takes the lead 1-0. Now, Gangwon fails to hold on to this lead as Kevin Orris scores for Jeonbuk. Now, the match is tied 1-1 after the first half. Now, the match remains 1-1 until Jeonbuk goes on a tear in the last 10 minutes of the match, with Chung In-han making it 2-1 in the 82nd minute. Not done yet. More goals from the Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors. Song Jae-hun checked that, making it 3-1 Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors. Wait, more scoring. We go over to the 89th minute. Lee Seung-gi, not the singer, but the goal scorer, 4-1 Jeonbuk. And that's your final score as Jeonbuk takes this match 4-1. And of course, going into the next game, next up, Seongnam-ira Cheonma taking on the Daejeon Citizens. Kim Dong-sup in the 43rd minute finds the back of the net as Seongnam takes a 1-0 lead after the first half. Now we're going to shift over to the second half of the match. Lee Jong-won makes it 2-0 Seongnam in the 51st minute, but Here comes the Daejeon citizens. 3 minutes later, Arias, he's gonna find one back of the net, scores one to cut the deficit to 2-1. Next goal, here comes the equalizer in this game for the Daejeon citizens. Eun-uh gets the equalizer in the 70th minute of the match. Both teams trying to get the game winner in this one, but after 90 minutes, this match is a draw, 2-2. And of course, finishing things off in basketball with the Asian Basketball Championships currently taking place. Korea is set to face off against Bahrain later tonight in the round of 12th match. Now, Korea is coming off of a big win against China last week, as they're also set to face off against Kazakhstan on Tuesday, followed by India on Wednesday. Now, with that said, that's going to wrap it up for me. This has been SJ. See you guys again for your sports needs.
All right, thank you very much, SJ, for that. It's 7:44 a.m. on Korea Today. And if you're looking for an outdoor activity that offers both exercise and a lot of fun, then Tommy may have that for us.
She's going to be on a kayak. I'm looking forward to this.
All right, Tommy, over to you.
That's right, Yang and Minjung. I'm reporting live from Cheongguk Port, located in Hwaseong, Gyeonggi Province. And here at the port, there are many water leisure activities you can enjoy, such as rafting, kayaking, and yachting. And that's what I'm going to do today, kayaking. So why don't we go ahead and get started? Shall we? 네, 그럼 시작해볼게요. All right, so when it comes to kayaking, all right, so here we're gonna learn how to paddle left and right. So they say that if you want to go to the right, then you have to paddle the opposite side. Now, kayaking is a sport that is definitely not a one-man sport. It takes good teamwork, also good endurance, and of course, good reaction. So, I mean, to tell you the truth, paddling, it doesn't seem very difficult, but I think it does take a lot more skill than what I'm doing right now. Now, here at Cheongguk Port, not only are there leisure activities that you can enjoy, but there are yachting tournaments that you can try out, as well as a lot of different things. So, I mean, Hwaseong is only about an hour away from Seoul. So if you'd like to enjoy water leisure activities, then why not come on by, because it sure does feel good on the waves. I'll see everyone tomorrow. I'm Idami, Korea Today. Bye! All right, left.
Tommy is coming back, right?
I hope so. She
Hopefully.
didn't ride off into the sunrise.
Well, these days, once a week, our young Kim has been making a fashion statement by coming into the office in shorts.
I didn't know this was coming. That's my wardrobe. No, actually, the station has been promoting this, actually encouraging some of the employees to come in shorts. Not because, you know, it's more comfortable, because they get to save on energy costs.
Well, he says it's because of the trend. So, okay. And Audrey Young is here to explain to us about the trend.
That's right. Hello, everyone. It has been quite a hot topic this season, no pun intended, due to Korea's hot and humid summer season. And so I'm going to introduce a new shorts trend that's causing quite a stir among Korean men. The once very conservative dress code at work is slowly but surely evolving. So let's check out what it's all about. No matter how hot it might be, there was one thing Korean male office workers were not allowed to wear: shorts.
We would have never imagined wearing shorts back in our days. If a coworker wears shorts, it makes them look inappropriate for work.
During scorching summer days like these, I want to wear shorts to work, but our company's rules won't let us. It would be great if shorts were allowed, though.
But the once very strict office dress code is slowly changing, with shorts becoming an option, something almost unthinkable in a culture dominated by Confucianism.
Wow.
Okay, that's a change
That's
site.
interesting.
Lee Sung-guk is getting ready to head out to work, and he's wearing none other than the so-called cool biz look, with a short sleeve shirt and shorts.
At first I was a bit shy to wear shorts to work, but now I don't even do a double take to wear my long pants.
Must be quite liberating.
The surprising thing is, Lee is a public official.
At first I was worried for him. Why would a civil servant wear shorts to work? But after seeing him do it, it looked much better and cooler.
She said she was worried for him.
It could be a little foreign to see public officials sporting shorts at their workplace, but here at Anyang City Hall, every Wednesday is Shorts Day.
When the Shorts Day first started, a lot of our employees felt uncomfortable and awkward. But this all slowly started to change, and now the atmosphere is much lighter and brighter.
This is the mayor.
Right.
July's average temperature was at 26.3 degrees Celsius, 1.8 degrees higher than usual.
That's funny.
And public officials responded to this by wearing shorts. They're able to enjoy cooler temperatures and work more effectively since shorts can lower the body temperature by 4 degrees.
It's very cool, I really like it. And with this change, I was able to purchase shorts.
With cooler body temperatures, I feel like it's better for my health, and it's very refreshing.
Wearing shorts to work is still in its initial stages, but for the younger generation, it has already become an important fashion item.
I'm looking for newly released shorts.
Many Korean fashion brands are putting out an endless stream of shorts. This means more men are buying these shorts.
I usually pick my shorts according to design. I look for neat but showy ones.
Until the early 90s, the public had a negative opinion about men wearing shorts. But what changed this?
I would say hot weather.
The most important thing is there's a change in traditional values. Now, people are focusing more on the actual results than what's just superficially seen. That's why shorts are no longer just required to wear at certain places or times. Instead, a clothing that could be worn, dressy or casual.
Huh, I was wrong.
On top of that, as more men are becoming interested in fashion, their shorts are also becoming more fashionable. So we visited the mecca of Korea's fashion trend, Dongdaemun. It's no surprise that there were many shorts displayed in the men's corner.
In the past, I would have only worn long pants, even during hot summer days, but nowadays, I usually buy fashionable, comfortable shorts.
Before, more casual shorts were popular, but more recently, shorter and fancier ones are more popular.
Shorts once a big no-no for men. How far will this new trend and change in perception go?
More shorts on the streets and also in the offices. I guess our culture is becoming more open and more liberal, but men showing off more legs is leading to a new market, right?
Minjung, unfortunately, you're absolutely right.
Why is that unfortunate? Why is
You'll
that
know when
unfortunate?
she has the answer. Give us the answer.
I mean, as they're exposing their legs more, so I think they want to show off their smoother skin as well, and so we have a lot of hair removal trends occurring
for men's legs.
Are men resorting to waxing now?
Right, you know, I'm a girl and I'm not entirely okay with that, but Young, what do you think about that?
You know, I do not. No. A man that has hairy legs is meant to have hairy legs. Well, you should keep your hair on just the same way.
I'll stay out of this one. I think. Right.
Well, you know, one of the things that we see is the trend of shorts, like as we said, but they're getting shorter and they're getting a little bit thinner. I have a question about that, actually. I mean, why are they getting shorter? Aren't men supposed to cover up like their thighs at least? I would say.
Well,
my rule of thumb is like
They are still covering their thighs.
I mean, so around in the 80s, you would have people wearing shorts, and now those are weird. I thought.
But apparently last year there was a huge summer fashion show, and part of the trend was men having shorts that were getting shorter and shorter and shorter. And so apparently, even in some countries, I think hot pants is becoming a trend for men, but thank God it hasn't reached our shores yet.
So how can men style their shorts looks? Because my father, I'm sorry, Dad, but he wears socks that's covering his ankles all the way almost up to the knees, and that's what I don't like. That's why I cannot stand. But
yes,
long tube socks up to your knees.
Right, let's keep that at home. So if you're wearing sneakers, go with something really short, like an anklet socks or just something very short. But even these days, why do you need to have socks? Go with loafers, slip-on shoes.
Your feet are gonna smell.
Right. Oh, well, yeah.
When it comes to
but,
fashion, some
I mean,
sacrifices
if you're going to
need
wear
to be
socks
made.
anyway, you might as well just have bare feet that's exposed in the hot
Or the real
summer heat.
short socks, maybe, right?
Oh, yeah, the anklet ones,
Mhm.
yeah. And then with the shirts, go with something that's checkered or print. You don't always have to go with a dress shirt all the time just because you're trying to look formal.
Right.
The shoes can also give it a good look with the with something very casual, or like a polo shirt would be a good one too. And yeah, like I said, this is thank God for the trends that's happening now, and it hasn't quite reached our shores. I really don't quite want to see hot pants in Korea. So.
The hot pants. But you know, when you see guys wearing shorts, I think
wouldn't mind.
you see a lot of the nautical style, right? As you mentioned, with the polo t-shirts and the low socks. It's the comeback of the nautical style.
Yeah,
right?
yep, you're right.
All right.
In the summer.
Thank
Sounds
you,
good.
Audrey, for that.
Thank you.
And maybe Young, you want to do your show tomorrow with
That'll
shorts?
be the day when I come out on Korea Today wearing shorts, right? Then
That
shorts
will be
have
the
become-
day I will take a day off.
Audrey, thank you
right.
again for joining us.
Thank you.
That brings us to the end of this edition of Korea Today.
All right, have a great Monday, and we'll see you back here tomorrow at 7 a.m.
Thanks for watching. Bye.